welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary and I'm in the process of becoming vegged out. Now what that means is in August of 2020, I decided to switch from an omnivorous diet to a vegetarian diet. Currently, I follow a lacto-ovo vegetarian diet, meaning I do consume eggs and dairy, in addition to grains, beans, legumes, and other whole plant foods. So pretty much I just don't eat the meat. However, I do like to say I'm an aspiring vegan because ultimately that's where I want to end up. When? I have no idea, but it's a process. And so I'm taking my time and taking it one step at a time, and I'm enjoying a lot of new recipes and vegan meals along the way. So I do like to dabble with some vegan meals in addition to the vegetarian meals that I love. And I originally started this for just better physical health, in addition to just strengthening my mental health. I do have a history of anxiety, and there is a link between what you put in your mouth and your mental health. So I wanted to just give this a try, and so far it's working out pretty good. If you are back watching another video, then welcome back. And thank you for hitting that play button. I really do appreciate it. And I'm just excited to share this path along with you all. So for today, I want to go over what a lot of people are going over, and I just wanted to share with you my 2021 goals. In addition to sharing my goals, I am going to show you a day of eating. This was over the weekend, so that's why I'm dressed a little differently now. But yeah, so this was over the weekend, and I think I only had 2 meals in there. There is breakfast, because I'm really good at recording breakfast, and then there's dinner. We had a bit of a late dinner, but it was a big dinner because we were celebrating some birthdays in my family, my daughter and my husband, and so we decided to go out for all-you-can-eat sushi. So I'll show you what that looks like, eating and enjoying sushi as a vegetarian. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Good morning. Getting ready to make some breakfast. It's actually a really late breakfast because I wasn't super hungry. And I'm defrosting some hash browns right now because I like doing like a hash brown egg veggie scramble kind of thing. And I was looking at the back of my hash browns, and it has a recipe for breakfast potato pancakes. I'm not going to do that. But some of the ingredients I really liked, so let me show you. So for these breakfast potato pancakes, this is just a bag of hash browns from Aldi, I think. And it's got look at my finger. Eggs, cheese, a little oil, some bacon, but whoa, my finger got big. No bacon. Green onion, spinach, but we have some greens, some collard greens from last night, so we're gonna use that instead. And then a cup of hash browns. So I thought that sounded really yummy. Just, I kind of get in a food rut, but I thought that sounded yummy for my scramble. I'm not going to turn those into pancakes. But yeah, don't ever not look at the back of your frozen food bag, people, because sometimes there are some great recipes that you can adapt to however you like it. So there's a little helpful tip for you. So I've got my green onion in here. I just kind of snipped it with some kitchen shears. I'm letting the potato and the green onion just kind of cook away for a little bit in there. I didn't use any oil. I just sprayed the bottom with some extra virgin olive oil spray. So yeah, technically I used some oil, but just as spray version, because I don't like my food too oily. I don't know. I just don't like it real greasy. So yeah, I'm letting that cook down a little bit. I seasoned it with a little bit of garlic powder. Might do a little salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna add my eggs here in a little bit. Almost forgot to add my veggies in there. So I did a couple handfuls of some collard greens in there that we had from last night. Actually, it's probably equaled like one good size handful. So that's why my potatoes look a little extra green. So I scrambled up some eggs. Now we're gonna pour that off to one side for right now. Whenever I do these little breakfast scrambles, I like to pour my eggs in off to the side let them cook up a little bit, scramble them a little bit, and then I mix them in with the rest of my potatoes. So that's what's happening right now. And then I'm gonna top this with cheese and I will show you the finished product. Here's finished breakfast. Can't really see the eggs in there. Yeah, you can a little bit. There's a little string of cheese. I did measure out about a 1/4 cup of cheese. I did top it, let it melt, and then just kind of mixed it all in with everything else. I took a bite. I feel like it might need a little more flavor, so I might do like a little ketchup on top or something. Serving it with some apples that are now getting brown as they're sitting out. But this, I believe, is it's either a Honeycrisp or a Pink Lady, which are two of my faves. Delightful. And I have a couple of pieces of toast. The way I've been building my meals lately is I try to do half veggies. So this is half veggies. It's just mixed in. And then I like to have a protein source, which yes, I know plants have protein, but I like to plump it up a little bit because I feel more satiated. I feel more energized. So I've got my 2 eggs in there. And also, you know, there's the 1/4 cup of cheese. I do like to measure out when it comes to cheese and go by a serving size because I want to rely more on the plants and grains and I don't want to overdo it on the cheese. Then I like to serve a fruit. And then today we're going to end up having sushi for kind of like an early dinner tonight to celebrate my daughter and my husband's birthday. So I'm making this, you know, a little extra satiating because I'll probably just end up having a snack before we go and have dinner. So here I'm just drinking some water with it and I'm taking my vitamin. This is one of my favorite vitamins. It does give me a lot of energy throughout the day. As long as I eat a good meal with it, it does not upset my stomach. I really, really love it. And yeah, I feel good. So here's breakfast. And my advice for you is just do you. Do whatever makes you feel good. Don't worry about what other people are saying, how you should eat your food. Just, you know, get your whole grains, your fruits, your veggies, your carbs, like carb it up. I'm carb loading right here. And just feel good about what you're eating. Don't worry about what anybody else tells you you should be doing. And I'm going to take my own advice on that. But yeah, so make sure it supports your body. Make sure you feel good. And just go for it. Okay, we are having sushi right now for birthday dinners, and I wanted to show you how a vegetarian eats sushi. There's actually a lot to choose from. I started eating it, as you can see, but I have a sweet potato roll right here. So it's tempura fried sweet potato, wrapped in seaweed and rice. Then we have a vegetable roll over here, and you've got a little tofu skin in there, some avocado, some asparagus, rice, and seaweed. Maddie over here was having an avocado roll, so a little piece of avocado with rice and seaweed, delicious. Not pictured, because I devoured it, was a tofu skin nigiri, so it was tofu skin with rice on the inside, super good. Had some tempura vegetables. The rest of the fam is having fish. I am not, but I gotta tell you, super satisfied. So as a vegetarian, do not feel like you're missing out, because you are not. It is delicious. All right, let's talk 2021 goals. I know a lot of us are very happy to see 2020 go bye-bye. So let's just make this year great, no matter what our outside circumstances are, because we can't control that anyway, right? So let's make this year awesome. But before I get into my goals and share those with you, I wanted to share the word I chose for the year. And I'm not sure how many of you do this, so make sure you comment below and let me know if you do choose a word for the year. And if so, what is your word for this year? Mine last year was consistency. I really felt God leading me to being more consistent in a lot of things. I feel like I started off the year pretty strong, and then that quickly unraveled when we had, you know, sheltering in place and COVID and all that good stuff. So then I became really consistent in taking naps. I think, you know, looking back on it, I did get a little bit more consistent in my relationships, making phone calls to friends and really staying in contact with my sister. We've never had too much of an issue with that, but sometimes life happens and things fall apart. So I do feel like there are some areas that I was consistent in, but when I was kind of thinking and praying about this year's word, I asked God kind of for a do-over. And I know that's kind of a general theme for 2020 is we all kind of want a do-over. So instead of having the same word, consistency, I felt led to choosing the word commit. And that goes hand in hand with consistency. So I feel like, in order to be consistent, you have to commit. So I feel like I do get my do-over, and it just makes me reframe things and think, what do I really want to commit to, and how can I be consistent in that? So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I really want to commit and be consistent in. One is taking the pressure off of myself. And this is one that I'm probably going to need to work on every single year. I do put a lot of pressure on myself, even with this channel and, my diet. And I should really say, like, when I mean diet, just so you know, I'm talking about the food I'm eating. I'm not saying that I'm like necessarily on a diet, because this is how I plan to be for the rest of my life. So that's what I mean when I say diet. So with my vegetarian diet, I put a lot of pressure on myself to be perfect and like, okay, well, vegetarianism isn't good enough, so you have to be vegan. And a lot of the things that I watch, whether it's YouTube or just, other information, whether it's movies or things on the internet, I feel myself putting more pressure on myself. It's not like anyone is reaching out to me specifically and saying I'm not good enough, but I feel like, okay, well, I see some vegetarian resources, but for the most part, it's vegan resources and, really nudging you along the vegan route. And while that's great, and that is someplace I want to be at some point in my life, I just don't know when that will be. I don't know, I just find myself putting so much pressure on me and like, okay, we have to do this now. Don't eat eggs now. Don't eat cheese now. Don't eat yogurt now. And like, just go all in. And while for some people that works really well, for me, that's just not how I'm wired. I tend to get really obsessive, and I have like some eating disorder tendencies. I have had an issue with disordered eating in the past, and that's not really a path I want to go down again. So for me, taking it step by step, however long it takes, is the best choice for me. So in taking the pressure off of what I decide to put in my mouth, I just take it day by day, meal by meal, and just know that I'm doing the best for me right now, and that's what matters most. So I just want to encourage you too, if you are pressuring yourself about anything, or if it's food, in particular, take the pressure off of yourself. Do what you can right now, and that's good enough. That's more than good enough, because the step that you took forward now is one step ahead of where you were. So I think that's great, and I'm just here to encourage you along the way, as well as myself, because I have a lot of work to do in that area. I also want to take the pressure off of myself in my channel. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm just trying to be me, and that's good enough. That's okay too. And I have to remind myself of that a lot. My videos probably aren't gonna look like super produced. I mean, here's what we're working with now in my background here, which I like it. And my husband for Christmas got me this awesome tripod with ring light, so that's why my skin looks flawless today. But so, it's baby steps too. And my production quality might not ever be very high, and that's okay. I want this true to me and who I am, and just I'm sharing with you my process and what I'm doing with what I'm eating, and maybe other ways that I'm helping along my mental health. And I'm just inviting you in along on the ride. So what I do is the best that I can do, and that's really all that matters. So I'm looking forward to continuing this and being consistent and committing to this YouTube channel and to grow it and to grow a community. I'm super excited about that. So there's a lot to look forward to in 2021, and I'm just going to keep plugging along. If I feel like, okay, I'm not good enough, or I just need to stop because who do I think I am? Well, I'm just going to push through and keep on going, and I'm very, very lucky to have such a supportive family who backs me up and wants to see me just keep going. Even if there's one viewer out there, then that's a win in my book, and I'm super excited to share with that viewer what I have going on and maybe any tips that I can pass along on the way. All right, so in addition to taking the pressure off of myself, I want to start waking up early. I used to be really, really good at this all throughout my life, even up until, having kids, and I think COVID put a wrench in a lot of that, honestly, because my sleep was really broken, and so I wasn't sleeping really well, and I have found myself sleeping in till 8:30, and I know that probably sounds early to a lot of you, but that's like really late. That is like the equivalent for me of sleeping until like 10 or 11 o'clock. I used to be really great at getting up early. I would shower and have my coffee and journal and all that good stuff, and just kind of prep myself for the day in the peace and quiet before the busyness started of the kids getting up and getting them ready. And now we homeschool, and we've been homeschooling for a couple of years, so this is just a good way for me to focus and just get energized for my day and just feel ready. So that is number 2. What I really want to work on is waking up early. Okay, so I labeled these, or listed these, I should say, I don't know, a little out of order. So in addition to waking up early, number 3 is I want to spend more intentional time with God. And in the time of waking up early, I think at the beginning of last year, actually, where consistency came in, is I was becoming really consistent in reading a devotion and having some prayer time and just spending that intentional time with God, even if it's 10 minutes. It just really helped me set the tone for my day, set the intention for my day, and just know that, He's backing me and supporting me, and just really feeling that really helped my day start off awesome. Even if everything else did fall apart during my day, I have that foundation, and it just felt really good. It feels really good to make an intentional connection. Now that goes along with some of our primary foods. So I've mentioned this before, but our secondary foods are the foods that we put in our mouth. The primary foods are things like your spirituality, connecting with that, your relationships with other people, your work, your hobbies, you getting to know yourself. Those are our primary foods. So as I mentioned, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. But I know too that not all of us do. But it is really important for us to connect spiritually to the higher power. So if you'd like, comment below. And do you have a spiritual practice? And if so, what is that? There's no judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone. So feel free to share. I'd love to know. I would love to know what your spiritual practice is. So with my time with God, number 4, again, I'm hesitating because I have these a little out of order. Number 4 is journaling. I really want to be consistent with journaling during my morning routine. And if I can't get it done in my morning routine, then maybe just sometime throughout the day. I find that when I kind of get all of the thoughts that swirl in my head out and on paper, then I feel a lot less burdened. when I start my day, or just at any point during the day. Sometimes I can feel a little like I'm going crazy. So stopping and journaling and getting those thoughts out really do help lift the burden. So I want to encourage you guys to do that too. Even if it isn't first thing in the morning, journaling really does help. I've been really great at starting journals. I have like a whole bunch. I think there's even some back there. Those might be books. But I do have quite a few journals that I've said, okay, this is going to be the one. I'm going to fill it before I get another one. And I'm like, ooh, there's another one. And so I just end up restarting that. But yeah, so I really want to commit to journaling and getting more consistent in that. And sometimes, you know, we might not have like a situation or whatever that we want to write down, but I learned this technique called morning pages, and I can't remember where I learned it, probably during coaching school. But morning pages is you take like 10 minutes. And you can set it on the timer if you want. I believe you either set a timer for the time that you want, or you set a goal for 3 pages. And usually I go the 3-page route because I, number one, take pressure off myself. I tend to feel pressured when there's a timer on. But you write 3 pages. No more, no less. 3 pages, and you kind of just do a brain dump, whatever comes to mind. Even if you're writing down like, I don't know what to say today, then you just kind of, you just kind of like let it flow and see what comes out. And sometimes it's a whole lot of nothing, but it still feels good to get that out. So I believe I'm on 4. That's my number 4, being consistent, or committing to and being consistent with journaling every day. All right, number 5, I want to make time for me. I want to make more time for me. So, and that really goes hand in hand with my morning routine and getting up earlier. But as a mom, as a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, there's a lot asked of me. And while I enjoy motherhood, I 100% do. I would not trade it for anything. There is just a lot. There's a lot asked. And, also being their teacher and being the one that cooks the meals and primarily does the grocery shopping and cleans and all that other stuff, it's a lot. So in order to really feel like myself and to be in a good place, I need to take that time, whether it's in the evening or whatever, to have me time. I mean, even if it's like walking around and looking in a store uninterrupted for a little bit, or watching a show or whatever. Generally I like to try to take that time to read, or maybe take a bath and just unwind and relax, because I can get so wound tight. And I've talked to my husband about this, and like, hey, after dinner or whatever, would you mind just kind of being there for the kids in case they need you, so I can go do this thing and just relax and unwind by myself. And of course he said yes, and that's awesome. But if you're married, if you're with somebody, if you've got kids, whatever, it's so important to communicate with your partner, and just vocalize what your needs are, because no one's going to know if you don't say anything. So I'm trying to make sure that excuse me, I don't try to conquer the world on my own, and I need to recharge my batteries too. So I need to make sure I convey that to my husband so he can, be the one that the kids run to, so I can take a little unwinding time. So yes, so that's, I think, number 5 we're at, make some more time for me. Also, I think we're at 6 now. I want to make sure I get my 10,000 steps a day in. I've been pretty good at it. If I could get them in 7 days a week, great. If not, I'd like to shoot for 5. And on an off day, get in between 8,000 at the lowest to 10,000. And if I go higher, great. But I would like to make sure that I get my movement in, because that really does help with our mental health as well. It helps energy levels, it helps your moods, So I just want to make sure I'm making that a priority and not just focusing on the food. Sometimes me getting my steps in looks like catching up on a show, so a bit of self-care, catching up on a show while I'm like walking around my bedroom, getting all those steps in. So that's one way of doing it. We have a great neighborhood that we have like a loop around here that's just about a mile. So, you know, when it's nice out, go for a walk, whatever. But some days, the best I can do is walk into my bedroom. So that's what I do. So I have this handy little activity tracker here. I got it on Amazon for like 20 bucks. Super great. I don't know how accurate it is, but I mean, I feel like it does the job. It at least gets me moving, and that's the point. I don't really worry about like the calories burned and all that good stuff. So, all right, let's see. I'm just talking about getting my movement in. I have on here be consistent, and I've talked about that a lot. So that is the overall theme of committing and being consistent. So I think I've explained that one enough. The next one is a doozy, and unless I can think of any more, this is, oh, I did think of another one before I get to the doozy. I want to read more, and I think I set this for myself as a goal every single year, but I really, really, really want to read more. So one way that I'm ensuring that that happens, or really hoping that that happens, is I have joined a book club, and we as a family have decided that we want to be part of Elevation Church, so we watch it at home. There is a physical campus pretty close to us, but we also like the novelty of being able to watch at home, and there's no excuse not to get your church if it's at home. So anyway, I bring that up to say that Holly Furtick, she is the wife of Pastor Stephen Furtick, and she has her own women's ministry that is just amazing, and I love her so much. And she has a book club, and so I finally caught it in time to get the book and have plenty of time to read it before she goes live. So if you're interested, she goes live on January 12th. I will link below her website so you can see the book and decide if it's something that you would like to order and join in on. So yeah, so one way I am trying to read more in this new year is by joining a book club. And so far I'm only like a chapter in, but it's a super good read. I'm really excited to continue this book. I set like a page goal for myself every day. I'm already a couple of days behind, but what's number one? I'm gonna take the pressure off. So I'm just gonna keep plugging along and doing what I can do each day. And that's the best I can do. All right, the doozy. Are you ready? And I'll make a couple other videos about this in the future, but here we go. I've mentioned it before in a video, but I actually am a certified health coach, and it feels kind of funny to say because I haven't fully owned that. And I put it down for a really long time, and I never actually really created a coaching program or got a bunch of clients or anything. I felt defeated before I really even started. So this year, 2021, I am going to commit to one, declaring that I am a health coach and that I know what I'm talking about and I am knowledgeable and I do have the capability to help people. And two, I am finally, after I think 7 years of having my certification, going to create a coaching program. So I'm not going to divulge any of the details now because it's still a little baby and I'm still in the process of trying to figure it all out. So rule number one in coaching school is you are your first client. So I am going to be taking some of the principles that I'm working on and working with myself. And then I already have some family members lined up to be my guinea pigs to see how it works with them as well. So my goal for the end of the year, I'm hoping, is to have launched something. So that is the other reason why I started this YouTube channel, not only to document my path and how I'm navigating vegetarianism with a family that is not. Not only to document that, but to also start my coaching and my coaching program, and to start building that like-minded community. Whether you're vegetarian or not, here's what I will say. Here's what I will say about my program. The way I want to design this is for everybody. Yes, I am vegetarian. Yes, I am working towards becoming vegan. Will this program be pushing you into veganism? No, it will not. So this program really is for everybody. The one thing I will say, the little giveaway that I will throw out there, is I kind of like to base it on this simple statement that author and journalist Michael Pollan has notably said many, many, many times. And his quote is, for the way that we should be living our lives in regards to how we eat, is eat food, meaning real whole food, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. So that's kind of going to be what my program's all about, but anybody can join in, whether you're vegetarian, vegan, meat eater, whatever. There is a place for everybody. So I'm super excited to see this form and take shape. And I'll kind of update you guys in the process, but I'm really, really, really hoping to launch it by the end of 2021. So there's a lot of really good and big things coming up, and I'm a little scared to say, hey, this is what I want to do, because I am afraid of failing, and I do feel like, okay, well, why am I authorized to do this? Well, I paid the money, I did the work, I went to school, I am authorized to do this. Even though I don't feel like I'm a professional in this field, I am. And so later I'll make a video about my struggles with calling myself a health coach and what some of the setbacks and pitfalls and all that were, but I'm ready. I've seen how I want this to take shape, and I'm excited to move forward. So if that's something that you're interested in, just keep watching my channel, and yeah, just stay tuned because I'll let you know how it goes. But also, this channel just gives you a little taste of who I am, a little insight of who I am, what I'm all about, how I try to live my life, and how, I just kind of want to encourage everyone to live their best life, whatever that looks like. So that's about it for my 2021 goals. I guess one other thing about being consistent with my channel is ultimately what I want this to look like is I really want to post twice a week. Maybe do one day with a what I'm eating in a day, because today I've lumped it and I've gotten chatty again. So if you are here still, thank you for hanging on this long. I really hope that you find this content helpful, useful, interesting, whatever, but thank you for staying. But ideally, I would like to separate it, because this channel, yes, it's being vegged out and it's talking about eating whole plant foods and my journey with vegetarianism. Oh darn, I said that word. Anyway, my road to vegetarianism and all that. It really just isn't about the food. Being vegged out also means not just literally eating veggies, but having peace, making peace with food, making peace with your body. What I'm doing to cultivate peace in my mind. So overall, being vegged out is a mind, body, spirit, holistic connection. It's fine-tuning everything in your life to just be more at peace in a crazy, crazy world. So, like I said, one day have the food and just hopefully give you a little bit of inspiration. Even if you know, you are a meat eater, there will be ways that you can find that you build your plate, and I'll kind of give you tips on what's working for me and maybe some things that you can try. And then another video be maybe more of the primary foods, the things that aren't the actual food that we put in our mouth, but the spiritual connection, you know, maybe what I'm doing to strengthen my spiritual connection, what I'm doing to strengthen my relationships, really evaluating each one of these areas of my life, and talk about some other things that maybe set my soul on fire and the things that I get really excited about, and getting to know myself in a deeper way. So I think that's how I want to frame it. But I'm gonna start with making sure I at least get one video out a week. And then I will start getting on a little bit more of a consistent schedule. But those are my hopes and dreams for this channel. Thank you so much for sticking it out and listening to everything I have to say. I hope it's helpful. I hope it's useful. I hope it's inspired you to maybe make a list of goals of your own if you haven't already. If you have, why don't you share some of those with me below? I'd love to hear what goals you're working on for 2021. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna leave it right there, wrap it up. And don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like this content and you want to see more, make sure you also hit the notification bell so you can be reminded and notified every single time I post a new video. That way I don't get lost in the YouTube matrix. I'm just barely making my way as it is. But thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one. But until then, I send you with peace, love, and veggies. Bye.